It's a easy sense Victorian science fiction with a future perfect to it.
It's the Victorian era, but in the future. I'm Donna, and I own Clockwork Couture, the world's first steampunk clothier. Working here, I thought it would be freedom to have my own business, to do my own thing. I could call the shots, I could work my own hours. Lovely visitors, people who've become family. We met our milliner this way through our store.
My name is Cherie Southcott. I am Lady B from Ladybird's Haberdashery. I am also the lead milliner for Clockwork Couture. To kind of take things out of the box, I do bizarre things. I mean, people can, they say, oh, you can't do that. I kind of go, yeah, I think I can. Try it. And that I was inspired by the Haunted House, the Haunted Mansion, which was a picture of an actual house. It was a little tough to do because architecture sometimes doesn't always translate to a piece that you can wear. So I like challenge, so I like to be challenged, and that's why I love working here, because I'm allowed to be myself, and she gives me room to do whatever I want, and I get to come and do what I love every single day, which I don't know a lot of people who can do that, and that is wonderful.
And so yeah, it's been a challenge. It's been an emotional and financial challenge that I had to lay off 3 of my employees in order to continue, and that was after I stopped paying myself any kind of salary for 3 months. So it's been hard. It's been really hard. So we're getting back on track, and sales are picking up a little because of Halloween, so I was able to bring 2 of those employees back for a couple of days per week. Technically, we have our grand opening on November 14th at 4 p.m. We have a big ribbon cutting. The Chamber of Commerce is hosting that for us with the huge scissors and the whole 9 yards. City council members coming out and smiling and waving and kissing babies. It'll be ridiculous, but it should be fun, and it'll be a great way to have Burbank know we're here.
How do I feel right now? I'm very relieved. I am very tired. I need a drink and a spa day, but I'm so happy that Clockwork is finally open. So yay! Now buy stuff, really.
The first time I heard about steampunk it was before I think the phrase was around, at least in a very open way, was the movie Wild Wild West with Kevin Kline and Will Smith. And it was the Victorian era, but with future technology.
That movie, Wild Wild West.
If you turn the volume off and watch it, it's an amazing film.
Don't judge the genre on that movie. It's a horrible movie.
And I loved it, and every time I would see something in that same vein, I would always follow that, and it wasn't until about 5 years ago that someone actually gave me that phrase, a local DJ here in Los Angeles, and said, yeah, it's the next big thing.
And it was going to be a gang war, and I decided that's wrong. It's more of a spectrum. And it's cogs versus gogs. I do have gang signs. Cogs and gogs. Initial thing was steampunk as goths who found brown. And there's a little bit of that to it. Because there are people who are like, I just can't be that depressed anymore. I can't wear that much black. The makeup takes too much time. But I still want to take a good 40 minutes getting dressed.
I got into the goth scene as a wee youngling and completely entranced. And the Victorian era was always my favorite part of that. So when I stopped being angry at the world or whatever it is that got me into the goth scene, and I discovered steampunk, I knew I could have my Victoriana and a happier outlook at the same. So I jumped on board immediately, and I just thought it's the best thing ever, and I'm so happy.
Since I came to steampunk by way of the Gothic Lolita scene, I really do love steampunk Lolita. A lot of my outfits are a lot more Lolita inspired. Part of the things that I really liked about Gothic Lolita and steampunk is the Victorian elements. So when I have pieces of Gothic Lolita clothing that have a very strong Victorian feel, I try to incorporate them into a steampunk outfit. I love the silhouettes of steampunk. I love that as myself, as a woman of size, that this is one of the few fashion realms where I'm not shunned. You know, the clothing is made to suit women who've got some curves, a little bit of bustle in their bounce, and that's really awesome because coming from Gothic Lolita, where we're all dressing in clothing intended for petite Asian young ladies, being a plus-size woman, Caucasian woman of Russian ancestry, made it very difficult for me to really fulfill the proper Gothic Lolita image. Not that people of all sizes, colors, and shapes can do Gothic Lolita, because they can, and they look awesome. But steampunk, at least you celebrate your boobies, and I like celebrating my boobies.
So they went and found Brown. And they're the makers, the people who make things like League of Steam. Like, they make a costume to go with the amazing machine they made. And those are the Gogs, because in their world, there's no magic. It really is only steam. So all of the technology would be available in Victorian times with steam. And it was not common. It wasn't something that everybody had. It wasn't depressing like goth. It wasn't rule-driven like historical costuming. So I liked that you could do whatever you wanted, and then you could grow from there. So you could do like a steampunk Batgirl, or we did a steampunk Cigarette Girls, and we went from there. And I like that it's future perfect in the sense that it's a world that is filled with promise and hope and adventure. And so I like that costuming reflects that, and also women are able to do whatever they want, as opposed to Victorian society where you really were just a woman and were left to be a wife. In steampunk, you can be the pirate or the captain or whatever you want to be. Victorian rules do not apply.
My favorite thing about steampunk, I think, is the ability to rewrite the past in a happier way, in a way that benefits everyone, not because we're trying to ignore the horrible things in our past, but like women not having rights and slavery and mass disease, but rather to, I guess it's wishful thinking, the utopian aspects. It goes along with what America is looking for today anyway, which is reform and change. And we can have that in a safe fantasy setting with beautiful fashions and craftsmanship and love towards our products, and not mass produced from China, but pieces that were done with love and with care. So that's what I love about it, is the attention to detail and the happier yesterday.
The amazing thing about steampunk is that it's an artisan movement. So you can kind of twist traditional lines and you can make things pretty incredible. And that's what I love about it, because I love to do, just let my mind go. There's really not any kind of restrictions on your creativity. And the era is put in the Victorian age of, with the science fiction, you could go Jules Verne, you could do all kinds of things, and thus we have the tentacles all over our shop. We can do almost anything, and that's the lovely part of steampunk. So that's all I can say. Thank you very much.
So yeah, we've been having fun. We've been having a lot of fun. We just did the LA Weekly, their best of 2012. It's pretty exciting stuff that we have all these wonderful people coming out to see us and say hi and say, hey, what are you doing? Let's have fun together. We offer our rooms in our store here for filming for free, as long as someone is going to promote arts, education, or community. And so we also just did a fundraiser here the other night called LARP for Learning, which is private people who are developing live action role play games for classrooms to make it fun to learn math and science again for kids. So they were here fundraising for that, and it was a lot of fun and good people. So I'm happy. I'm so happy.